So today I wanted to do a update on the Thailand travel and restriction update. And if you can do me a favor at the beginning here, if you can go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button, I would appreciate it greatly. So I did a video a few days back, but some more information came out and I had a couple conversations with some people over in Bangkok. So I wanted to kind of give you an update. Now to first start off, on Monday in Thailand, they had 9,635 confirmed infections, and they had 25 deaths to bring the total up to 614 deaths since COVID first started, which brings the total as of end of Monday to 111,000 confirmed cases. Then on Tuesday, they had confirmed 4,887 confirmed infections and cases, and then 32 deaths. And so that's where they're at with their numbers. And now on Monday, a number of cities went from the dark red to one step lower to the regular red zone. And they were able to open up most restaurants. And some of the restaurants in some cities are on 25% capacity, some are 50. Some places where they've dropped a couple levels, they've been able to fully open. It's not just takeout food, but they're actually able to sit down and dine in. Now, there are other areas that aren't fully open yet. The areas that do have dine-in restaurant seating, they are still on a lockdown in terms of bars, clubs, entertainment venues, shopping malls, cinemas, those kind of things, massage shops. They're still closed and locked down. We should get more news at the end of this week, but more than likely it's probably going to be the end of the month before they even talk about whether or not they're going to lift those bans. Now, what they're projecting too is that foreigners now living in Thailand, whether they're working, retired, living there, abroad, they'll be able to register by August, and they'll be able to register to get their vaccine. And so the plan is by August, they'll have that up and running. Now, what happened is over the last several months, the first group of Thais that are able to get vaccinated have been frontline workers and people with pre-existing conditions, or Thais that are over 60 years old. Now they've lifted or expanded that now, and now all Thais between the ages of 18 to 59, beginning on May the 31st, they will be able to receive their vaccines. Now, there's been a number of cases, and the spike up, of course, last month when they had Songkran, the Thai New Year, as people traveled and did more things. But on top of that, they've had clusters mainly in the big, more metropolitan areas like Bangkok, where those clusters of infections have actually come due to construction zone areas where they're building new condominiums, new projects. And they've had a number of clusters, like in Bangkok, related to construction sites and construction zone areas. And so they're combating that situation. They're trying to implement some sort of restrictions and doing quite a bit of testing in those areas and trying to get the situation corrected. Now, most of you want to know about the Thailand travel. It really starts with the Phuket travel restrictions and easing those restrictions. So currently right now in Phuket, they're trying to ease the travel restrictions by land arrivals. There's only one entry point as you come into Phuket, and so they're able to take care of that border area. And they're currently saying that, or they currently implemented, that there is no vaccine requirement in order to come into Phuket. But for those individuals who don't have one of two things, whether they have a certificate showing that they the certificate showing that they are vaccinated, or if they don't have a PCR test within the last 72 hours, they still can go ahead and come into Phuket, but they have to self-quarantine the 14 days. Or they can go ahead and stay within their restricted hotel or wherever they're staying. Now, for individuals who are registering or coming through by air, they do need to go under the www.gophuket.com site and register and log in there. And then they also need to add a app. Number two, they need to add the app called the More Chana app. And that will be kind of a semi-tracking system and information system. And it's spelled MOR space CHANA. And that's an app that Thailand has instituted where you'll keep abreast of news, information, tracking your whereabouts. Now, there's two other additional things that are needed in order to be able to fly into Thailand. You have to go ahead and have a vaccination certificate upon entry or a PCR test within the last 72 hours. And so not only are you going to register under www.gophuket.com plus have the app downloaded, but you're still going to have to go ahead and show that you have vaccination completed and or the PCR test within 72 hours. Now, the plan in Phuket is to bring in an additional 300,000 doses of the Sinovac vaccine by the end of this month, May 31st. And then they're also looking at bringing in 440,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. And the goal for that amount and that process is going to be hopefully done by August. The big plan always in Phuket was to open that as the sandbox model first. If they can go ahead and get the herd immunity up to 70% and have enough vaccines available, in order to accomplish that, they felt that Phuket can be very successful in their opening model. It's basically the first area where mass tourism will be allowed, because they can control the environment a lot better, because you have to come into the island and there's only one actual land option border to get into that area, and then the rest of the individual who will be flying in, they can control the situation a little bit better. So they'll be checking people before they fly in, or they'll go ahead and you'll be able to go by land. And so those are the two options. They're going to go ahead and work on getting the herd immunity done. The plan is to open up Phuket by July the 1st fully on that sandbox model. And then they're also going to go ahead, overall in general, they're looking to go ahead and administer at least 2.5 million shots on a daily base, on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, starting with bringing in and manufacturing the AstraZeneca vaccine. And so what they hope to do is, by being able to vaccinate 2.5 million people on a monthly basis, and not only will they bringing in a variety of different varieties of vaccine, but also because they'll also be manufacturing the AstraZeneca vaccine inside of Thailand, they hope to go ahead and be able to vaccinate the rest of Thailand, be able to get herd immunity in places like Bangkok and Chonburi and Udon Thani and places like that, and get it into other regions in other provinces and other cities of Thailand. So that's a little bit about of what's going on currently right now. There's been a lot of steps done here recently to bring in the vaccine, to administer the vaccine, to go ahead and have systems in place and processes in place to open up Thailand for mass tourism. They've done a lot of great things in order to move things along. quite a few months back, it was more discussion oriented, but now they're into the phase of setting up the systems and the processes in place to make that a reality. So those are a little bit of the updates of currently going on right now. As I get additional information, I'll go ahead and post either down below or go ahead and do another video. Do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe so that way you'll get the information as I post regularly. Thanks and have a great day.